It's almost become a sad stereotype that pro wrestlers often die young. It's especially tragic when wrestlers pass away when they're still in the prime of their lives, like these. Crash Holly, real name Michael John Lockwood, made his WWE debut in 1998, quickly forming a tag team with his kayfabe cousin, Hardcore Holly. The two captured the WWF Tag Team Championships on one occasion, and even grew their family once Molly Holly joined their ranks. Crash also had an incredible 22 reigns with the WWE Hardcore Championship, second only to Raven, who captured the belt on 26 different occasions. This run garnered the star quite a fan following, and his underdog escapist antics earned him the nickname the Houdini of Hardcore. Crash also captured the WWE European and Light Heavyweight Championships. Sadly, Lockwood died on November 6, 2003, at the house of fellow pro wrestler Stevie Richards. Lockwood was found with a pool of his own vomit around his face. He was 32. There were empty prescription bottles and a bottle of alcohol nearby. His wife, Christina Wheeler, had filed for divorce around the time of his death, and his passing was ultimately ruled a suicide. Lockwood and Wheeler had one daughter. Andrew Test Martin seemingly had all the tools to become a major star, but despite winning the Intercontinental, European, and Tag Team Championships, he never realized his true potential in pro wrestling. He often found himself on the mid-card. Bruce Pritchard said of Martin on Something to Wrestle With,
Test came in very young with very little experience.
In 2004, WWE released Martin after 6 years with the promotion, leading to a brief run on the independent circuit. He returned to WWE in 2006, but once again struggled to find his place. He was suspended after failing a wellness policy test and soon released once again. Martin then made his TNA debut in 2007, teaming up with the likes of Abyss and Sting. He retired in 2008, but wrestled a few more matches in Japan after his announced retirement date. Martin struggled with substance abuse and was arrested twice on DUI charges. According to his parents, he completed a rehab program in 2008. Tragically, he passed away on March 13, 2009, at the age of 33. The official cause of death was an accidental overdose of oxycodone. Martin's brain was tested after his death, and he was found to have CTE, which could have contributed to the demons he was battling. Kerry Von Erich's career began in 1978, when he was only 18 years old. Kerry joined his famous brothers and feuded with many of the top staples at the time, including the fabulous Freebirds. Kerry was the only member of his family to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship when he defeated Ric Flair in 1984. He also had a stint as the Texas Tornado in WWE in the early 1990s. That run came after Kerry's foot was amputated after a 1986 motorcycle accident. He kept this information from everyone and managed to continue wrestling with a prosthetic.
The popular wrestler predicts he'll be back in the ring in less than 4 months.
Unfortunately, the pain from his amputation led to a painkiller addiction and several arrests. Von Erich's second arrest led to a charge and would have resulted in lengthy jail time. On February 18, 1993, the day after his arraignment, he ended his own life with a gunshot to the heart. He was 33. Yokozuna was arguably the top heel of the New Generation era. He feuded with The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan for the world title, winning it twice. Though he played a Japanese sumo wrestler, Rodney Anoa'i was Samoan, from the Anoa'i lineage of pro wrestlers. Anoa'i first competed as the Great Kokina, starting in 1988. He signed with WWE in 1992, initially appearing alongside his family members as a Samoan, before quickly being rebranded as Yokozuna. In addition to his 2 world title wins, he reigned as one half of the Tag Team Championships with Owen Hart and won the 1993 Royal Rumble. After Anoa'i was released in 1998, he had a brief stint on the independent circuit. On October 23, 2000, while on a tour in the UK, Anoa'i died in his sleep because of fluid in his lungs. He was 34. Another member of a legendary wrestling family, Owen Hart started his career in 1983. Owen was often compared to his brother, Bret Hart, but set himself apart with his in-ring work and sense of humor, winning fan approval along the way. Owen captured gold multiple times, including the Intercontinental and European and Tag Team Championships. He also won the King of the Ring tournament in 1994. With all these accolades, Owen seemed poised to eventually become a main event star. But Owen's death came as a result of a comedy storyline. He had once again started appearing as the Blue Blazer, a superhero character that satirized other wrestlers. At the Over the Edge pay-per-view in May 1999, Owen was meant to come down from the rafters in a parody of Sting's WCW entrance. The equipment malfunctioned, and Owen fell 70 feet onto the top rope. Owen was rushed to the hospital and declared dead at 34. Controversially, the show continued. Owen's widow, Martha Hart, was awarded an $18 million settlement in a wrongful death lawsuit.
We're still trying to gather all the facts together, and but regardless, the end result is the same.
Brian Pillman first made his name as Flyin' Brian in WCW, where he captured the light heavyweight championship on 2 occasions. In 1993, he joined up with stunning Steve Austin to form the Hollywood Blondes. They won tag team gold twice. After the tag team dissolved, Pillman rebranded himself as the Loose Cannon and eventually became a member of the Four Horsemen. In 1997, Pillman signed with WWE and started feuding with his former partner, who had become Stone Cold Steve Austin by then. The two were involved in an infamous Raw segment where Pillman brandished a gun. Later that year, Pillman joined the Hart Foundation. Pillman missed his scheduled match at In Your House 18, Bad Blood, and was later discovered dead in his hotel room, with initial reports claiming he died of a heart attack. Austin would later explain that his heart attack was caused by undetected atherosclerotic heart disease. He was 35. Pillman's son, Brian Pillman Jr., now wrestles in NXT as Lexis King. Another member of the famed Anoa'i family, Edward Smith Fatu first broke into WWE as Jamal alongside his cousin Rosie in 2002. Collectively known as 3 Minute Warning, they were mainly used as enforcers for Eric Bischoff. Their run together was short-lived though. Fatu was released in 2003. He'd go on to compete in TNA and All Japan Pro Wrestling before returning to WWE 2006 as the Samoan bulldozer Umaga. Despite being dominant and feared, he only captured the WWE Intercontinental Championship on 2 occasions. Fatu was released from WWE again in 2009 due to failing the wellness policy and refusing to enter a rehab program. On December 4th, 2009, Fatu's wife found him unresponsive on their couch. He died at the hospital from heart and liver disease, both worsened by drug usage. He was 36. Wyndham Rotunda was a third-generation wrestler who had a long path to stardom. He made his debut as Husky Harris in 2010, back when NXT was still a game show. After his eventual elimination, he returned to WWE as a member of the Nexus, with the group feuding with John Cena and other notable stars. He was then sent back to developmental and emerged in the new NXT in 2012 as Bray Wyatt, the charismatic leader of the Wyatt family. The faction proved dominant, and Wyatt himself would go on to win the WWE Championship in 2017. In 2019, Rotunda once again reinvented himself as The Fiend, winning the WWE Universal Championship twice.
And don't you wish you could just get back at everyone who wronged you in your life? Man, that would be cool, right?
That would be awesome.
Right?
Shockingly, Rotunda was released in 2021, only to return again in 2022 with a revamped character. Many of his creative plans sadly went unrealized. Rotunda unfortunately had a number of reported health problems, and they were apparently worsened by a bout with COVID-19. On August 24, 2023, he died from a heart attack in his sleep. He was 36. Yet another member of an iconic wrestling family, Eddie Guerrero was one of the biggest stars of his era, and his final run with WWE is often fondly recalled. Even when he was a devious heel, many of his peers continue to praise him every day, with JBL claiming that he owes his career to Guerrero, and he has inspired many more, with Mercedes Moné among many who cite his direct influence. He started wrestling in Mexico at a young age, but Guerrero's career took off once he signed with WCW in the 1990s, eventually forming the Latino World Order. In 2000, Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and Chris Benoit jumped to WWF, forming the Radical stable. Guerrero would establish his Latino Heat character before being released in 2001 after a drunk driving arrest. He had a brief stint on the Indies and in New Japan, but returned to WWE in 2002. He captured the WWE Championship in 2004, retaining at WrestleMania 20, the same night his close friend Benoit won the World Heavyweight Championship. On November 13, 2005, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Eddie's nephew and sometimes tag team partner, found his uncle passed out on the floor of his hotel room. By the time the ambulance arrived, Eddie had already died from acute heart failure. He was 38. Jay and Mark Briscoe were stalwarts of Ring of Honor. Many fans viewed them as the heart and soul of the promotion due to their loyalty to the brand. The brothers, real names Jamin and Mark Pugh, won the ROH tag titles on 13 different occasions. Jay also had a singles run in Ring of Honor, becoming world champion twice. That said, the Briscoes did have a few runs in other companies starting in 2000, namely Combat Zone Wrestling, Jersey All Pro Wrestling, Game Changer Wrestling, House of Glory, Impact Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
They trained themselves by videotaping themselves and going in-house and watching it and saying, change that, change that.
Jamin Pugh died on January 17, 2023, after he was involved in a head-on collision with another car while driving with his daughters, who survived the accident. He was 38. Though Jay never appeared on AEW television, the company aired a tribute show to him. Mark Briscoe now wrestles for the company, and its now sister promotion, ROH. Davey Boy Smith was another member of the vaunted Hart family. By marriage, he married Owen and Bret's sister, Diana Hart, in 1984. Smith never held the world title, but he did just hold about every other title in the WWE: Intercontinental, European, Hardcore, and the Tag Team Championships, once with his cousin, the Dynamite Kid, and again with Owen Hart. Smith originally joined the WWE in 1984, along with many of the biggest names from Stampede Wrestling, as one half of the British Bulldogs, his tag team with Dynamite Kid. After their tag team disbanded, Smith went on a singles run, having what was undoubtedly his biggest career moment when he main evented SummerSlam 1992 at Wembley Stadium in London, winning the Intercontinental title from his brother-in-law, Bret Hart. Smith bounced around between different promotions throughout his career, but spent most of his time in WWE. In 2000, he decided to take a hiatus from wrestling, with plans to return in 2002. Those never came to pass. Smith, who had struggled with prescription opiate addiction, passed away in May 2002 after suffering a fatal heart attack while on vacation with his girlfriend. He was 39. Shad Gaspard is remembered for his tenure with WWE as one half of Crime Time. The tag team had moderate success on the main roster, despite never capturing gold. Gaspard and partner JTG were fan favorites thanks to their catchy theme and presentation. Crime Time made its Raw debut in 2006. The duo had numerous feuds with the many other tag teams before being released in 2007. The two then had a brief stint on the independent circuit before returning to WWE in 2008. This run wouldn't last much longer. Gaspard was released from WWE in 2010. He then returned to the Indies and had a brief run in Japan before being reunited with JTG in 2014, when WWE released him as well. Gaspard and JTG continued to wrestle on the independent scene, but Gaspard also stayed busy in other ways, taking on acting roles and performing motion capture for video games. On May 17, 2020, Gaspard, his son, and other swimmers were caught in a rip current while swimming in Venice Beach, California. When lifeguards reached them, Gaspard instructed them to save his son. Gaspard was swept underwater and drowned. He was 39. WWE posthumously awarded him their humanitarian award, the Warrior Award, in 2022. If you or anyone you know needs help with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357.